So at this point, I am fairly convinced that the Democrat Party will replace Joe Biden as their presidential candidate in the upcoming months, and I believe Gavin Newsom will be that guy. I don't think that this was their original plan. I believe they wanted to go forward with Joe Biden, have him win the upcoming election, and then in the next term, have Kamala Harris take control because they realize the truth that his cognitive decline is real. However, his decline has been so severe in recent months that I no longer think this is possible. There are drugs on the market that, if taken by somebody experiencing dementia, that it can keep them going with normal cognition for about 6 months up to a year. Now, it is possible that they've already been giving Joe Biden these drugs and they are now wearing off because this is the ultimate conclusion to these drugs. There will be a point at which they no longer work. And when they don't work, this is the big problem. The decline is very rapid sometimes. And so all of a sudden you can go from trying to convince people that it's not real to it's impossible to convince anyone because you could just see it with your eyes. So I'm going to show you another Joe Biden clip that just happened yesterday when he was meeting the King of Jordan, Abdullah II. Just watch him, watch his demeanor, watch his face, watch his words, listen to him. Check it out.
Let me start by welcoming His Majesty, the King of Jordan. He's been a good friend. Abdul, welcome back to the White House, man. Welcome back. And by the way, Barack's looking at you in the corner over there. And along with Queen Rihanna, who's meeting with Jill now, and the Queen and the Crown Prince Hussein. Where is the Prince out there? I thought he was coming out. At any rate, Your Majesty, over to you.
Mr. President.
So it's clear that something is wrong here. These introductions that presidents do, they are not difficult. When he is introducing the King of Jordan, Abdullah II, as the President of the United States, there is a way to do this where you command respect and authority and you respect the other individuals who are leaders in the world. Joe Biden cannot do this, but it doesn't stop there. Because as he continues, it's clear he doesn't know where to stand. He doesn't know where to go. Do I stand behind him, to the side of him? He's looking around for his handlers to tell him what to do, where to go. This is a problem because Joe Biden doesn't have too many additional steps to take after introducing the King of Jordan. He is told, introduce him and then go here. But Biden can't remember step 2. And that's where you realize we're in a serious situation, because when you can complete one step and then a second and then the third, a fourth, a fifth, but you forget the 6th, 7th, and 8th, that's one thing. But when you don't know what to do after the initial step, when that's about as far as you can get, I mean, you probably shouldn't even be managing somebody at a local retail store. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be in charge of a group of people at that point. You probably should take a step down and somebody else should be taking the manager level. Never mind being like the complete store manager or maybe even a district manager or an owner of a business, all the way up to President of the United States. You see what I'm saying here? Joe Biden right now doesn't have the cognitive ability to do something that would even be considered a lower level management style position. And this guy is in charge of our military, the executive branch. It's no wonder why the border is in shambles, because Joe Biden's doing nothing. And the people who are truly in control have an absolute agenda to allow as many illegal entrants into the United States as possible, to then turn those individuals into voters. And so they look at Joe Biden as a senile pawn in their plan, a guy who can do nothing to stop this, because Joe Biden of maybe 20 or 30 years ago may not have went fully with the plan that's happening right now, which is just letting in droves by the millions into the United States. He may have said, no, we're not going to go that far. And with the election still 9 months away, that's a long time for somebody like Joe Biden, because this decline will continue to happen over the months. 9 months from now, he's going to be worse than he is now. And then he has to convince the American people that he's going to be okay for an additional 4 years after that, with each year getting becoming progressively worse. Can you convince independents and some Democrats of this? I don't think it's possible, which is why they're going to have to replace him. They're not going to be able to hide this anymore. They're going to have to try to do this as gracefully as possible, but they're going to go for it because they're going to look at every metric. They're going to look at every piece of polling data, and they're going to realize the truth. There is no amount of manipulation that can occur at the polls that will allow Joe Biden to win this upcoming election. So you might as well go ahead and hand off the baton to somebody else. And who is that somebody else going to be? Is it going to be Kamala Harris? No way. Is it going to be Michelle Obama? I don't think so. Is it going to be Hillary Clinton? Definitely not. The only person who's going to be able to take that role is slimy Gavin Newsom, and he will take that role. This guy wants the power. He loves power. And Gavin Newsom is actually probably worse than Joe Biden, just to be honest with you. But the only difference between Gavin Newsom and Joe Biden is Joe Biden isn't actually running the country right now. Other people are, with intentions that we don't really know, although we can see it in the actions that they're taking. So what do you all think about this? Leave your comments below. I'll catch you on the next video.